Hi and welcome to helpmysquashgame.com, and it's Barb Cooper here trying to help you with your squash. Now, as we're going through the summer, this is the time when all the hard work has got to be done and all the training. And footwork is the absolute essence of squash. If you have great footwork and you can get your racket to the ball, because that's what your feet are supposed to do, then you're going to be in great shape playing squash, because you'll never feel under pressure in terms of having to end the rally or having to hit a winner when you're not necessarily set up for it, because you can rely on your ability to get to the ball and just work the other guy for too long and work him over to the point where he can't get to the other ball. And often I hear people get kind of fussy about how you approach the ball and which way is the best and should I do a skip step or whatever. And this is my take as the only level 5 coach in Canada and as having coached national teams both in England and in Canada. The first step off the tee is important, and the final step when you arrive at the ball is important. But between the two, how you get there, as long as it's efficient, my end of it is, it really is not that important. I've watched so many different people get there so many different ways, and they'll always tell you their way is the right way. But for me, as long as it's efficient, it's balanced, and you arrive on time, then it's great footwork. And talking about training and strength and speed and that sort of stuff, okay, I want to give you a resource. So I want you to look at this book, Strength and Fitness Training for Speed by Leigh Brandon. It's a really, really simple, great resource telling you exactly what to do. And truthfully, there is no substitute for running. I can show you all sorts of stuff on the Bosu ball and on extreme boards, and I can show you how to train your core. But really, there is absolutely no substitute for doing running drills of some sort. Either long runs at the early part of the summer, more sprints when you get closer to the season, and more court-specific stuff as you get towards the competition. But really you should look at putting some running into your training day, because that's basically how the game's played, on your feet. So I want you to look at this idea too. I am going to show you something that I think is a fabulous training tool. I love it for my core. I love it because I'm somebody who loves playing sport, and so if there's a ball attached to it, I'm pretty good at playing with it, so I'm always going to enjoy that sort of training. And it's called a tornado ball. Check this out. So here I have a tornado ball. You can see it's a ball with a rope. The thick rope I put around my right hand, and I wind it around a couple of times so that it feels secure. Grab it with the other hand, and then I'm going to start using my torso and my legs to start swinging the ball. You don't have to make that face. Then I'm going to work on using my obliques and using a diagonal motion to make the same thing happen. So I'm swinging the ball backwards and forwards, and I've just got a simple brick wall to work against. So this is a tornado ball. It's fun. You'll find you'll get your body going, and if you like throwing balls around, here's one great way to do it. Ball and a piece of string. And now it's time for Ask Barb. And I got this question that's come from one of the girls, Caroline, and she's asked me, how does she hit the ball harder? You know, this is such a fundamental question, because whenever anybody thinks about hitting the ball harder, they usually think that they've got to put more effort into it. And that was kind of what I was alluding to last show. Do you remember when I talked to you about being in a field with daisies and hitting the daisy's head off with a stick? Well, when you hit the ball harder in squash, what you're actually doing is creating more racket head speed. And you can't do that with tight muscles. You actually have to do it with relaxed muscles, with what I would call a ropey arm. Your arm has to be loose. And when you hit the ball harder, believe it or not, you're going to hit it with your feet. So we're talking about timing, when to arrive at the ball, because you want that chain working all the way through. So in order to hit the ball harder, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. Be fussy about when you arrive at the ball. Make sure it's on time. Have your racket well and truly set. And then when you let it go, I don't mean let the racket go, when you let your swing go, let it go. Don't force it. Just allow the racket and your arm to drop into the swing and fire off a bullet. That's what you're looking for. Believe it or not, if you're going to hit it harder, you're going to have to delay your swing slightly. You're going to wait longer before you hit it. And then the very last thing that you're going to allow to happen is your arm, your forearm, and your wrist and hand are going to come through the ball. This is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com. I hope that helps.